Yeah, now I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we are recording. So
Yeah, that's all right.
good morning, Bilal.
Good morning, Professor Jaime, and it's good afternoon in England.
Do not call me professor. I'm working hard here in this part of the world, telling people that we are people before professionals.
Okay, that's all right.
What's the weather like in
In
London, right?
England. Yeah, I mean I am yeah, I'm in Brighton, which is 70 miles south of London.
Wow, Brighton, that's beautiful, colorful
Yeah,
city.
it is. It is. I mean,
Colors everywhere, buildings, red, yellow, all the
yeah,
colors.
yeah,
Yeah. So we have more people here.
yeah, exactly.
I'm going to admit them so you can be
Yeah, yeah.
concentrated on talking to them. Raj is around. Hello, good morning, Raj. You don't know Raj, do you?
No, I don't know.
Bilal?
I don't know. No,
Well,
no,
she's
I
a
don't know.
good friend of mine. I met her in Costa Rica. She lives in
Okay.
Canada. Hello, Jimmy. Hello,
Jaime,
Raj.
hello,
Hello,
Jaime.
Hello.
Raj. This is Bilal up above you.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure, pleasure.
We have, where are you, Jimmy? Jimmy Su?
Yeah, hi,
Where
Uncle.
are
I am
you?
from Callao.
Ah,
I am from
Callao.
Callao.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Salma, Salama? Salma? No. Noor, Malas? Noor? No. So what's the weather like in Canada,
Hello,
Raj?
I'm here.
Hello, Noor. Noor, that's the way it is pronounced? Noor?
Yes, it's Noor.
Noor. Where are you
Mhm.
from, Noor?
I'm from Lebanon.
Where is that? Excuse me.
Uh,
Excuse
it's
me. I'm so sorry.
do you know Dubai, Saudi Arabia?
Oh my goodness. We have somebody from, my goodness. Welcome, Noor.
Thank you so much. Middle
No.
East.
Oh, thank you for being here. You know our guest today?
Yes.
Ah, so talk to each other. Hello, Lourdes. Good morning.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, good evening,
Good afternoon over here in the Netherlands.
good midnight. So we can start, Bilal,
Yeah, I
because,
think so. Yeah, I think so. We can start probably. That's better. That's
okay,
better. We can start. Yeah.
yeah, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Let me introduce briefly our friend this morning. His name is, let me find his name. Well, I know his name.
It's on the screen.
Well, his name, I met him a few years ago in Colombia, and his name is Rana Bilal Anwar. That's the way it is pronounced.
Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah.
But I've just found out that his name is Bilal because Rana is the city, the place. You
Yeah,
told
it's a
me?
tribe. It's my tribe name.
Yeah, it's the tribe name. Very interesting. MA, PGD, MS, PhD, senior lecturer. Academic interests include English for specific purposes, educational program evaluations, teacher training, and curriculum development. An international published author in the fields of ELT and ESP. He talks at conferences, seminars, and academic workshops around the world. Actually, he was here in Peru a couple of years ago, right?
Right. That's
And in
true.
Colombia, like 3, 4 years ago. He has taken interest in the application of academic knowledge to the development of vocational competencies in professional environments. So let's welcome Bilal with a round warm of applauses.
Hey. Okay.
So
Okay.
the audience is all yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jaime. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I really appreciate your brief bio for me. Okay. Because I mean we are living in a very difficult and challenging times. So when I was talking to Jaime, so I was just thinking that I mean I should prepare something which should be very much related to the current situation which we are following. And as you see, I mean I'm just going to How disabled? Jaime, I think you need to give me the participant screen sharing so that I could share screens with the.
So what do you want me to do? Jesus, I'm not very good.
On the green bar, on the bottom
Okay,
bar,
green
it says
bar.
security. If
Share
you
share
click
the screen.
no, when you have the logo of
Anfitrión,
security.
ok. Renombrar. Introducir un nombre nuevo. Wait. Now I have to find you. Wait. Okay.
Okay, so can I share? Yeah, now I think I can. Now I can share.
Okay.
That's much better now. Okay. Yeah, if everyone could see that, I mean, I will be talking about this thing. And as I said, when Jaime was talking to me, I just thought there should be something which is very much related to the current situation. And the first line which came into my mind was that if it does not challenge you, it does not change you. In the present time, we are facing one of the most challenging time of human history, and looking forward to having lots of changes in the academic media. In the present time, of course, so then I thought I should be talking about something which is more related to what's happening around the world, and how, when people feel lots of challenge, how we can change these challenges into opportunities. It's most related with my own personal experiences, and then I try to relate those experiences with the references which I have been studying, or something like that. So what I will be doing is that if I would say something, and if I have read that something somewhere, I would try to write that reference, know that this is taken from some article, some book, or something like that. So that's how our chat will develop. But at the same time, I would also like that you share your experiences with me, that how you are dealing with that, so that, it could be an interactive kind of learning environment, instead of I just keep on talking and go for monologue and all those things. So this is what I want. Otherwise it will be too long, and it will be too boring if I just keep on talking and I don't get any feedback or something like that. Is everybody okay with that?
Of course, perfect.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, so before I start, could I know, like, how many of us is doing this online teaching
I am.
these days?
I am.
Okay.
First time in my life.
Okay.
Two.
Okay. So if we say briefly, it means that almost all of us are involved in kind of online teaching, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, because this is quite a new thing for us as well. And just few days before, I was just looking some Facebook news feed, and what I saw is, and I tried to share this with you guys, that is, somebody talk about that this online teaching is something like this. And I was shocked when stop share, just a minute. Yeah, I was looking at some sort of Facebook feed some days before, and what I found it something like this. Could everyone see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just try to modify it, that people talk about that online teaching is something like this, that we order something else, but when it's delivered, it's something totally different, or something like that. But this is just a kind of a notion, because I don't believe in that, because I believe that online teaching is equally effective as the face-to-face teaching it. though the time has changed, but it has the same effectiveness. And that's why we feel lots of challenge, because the only challenge we face it because it's quite new. It's quite new. Okay, so now here we talk about there are two kind of online learning. Could anybody tell me?
Super amor, pero 5 millones que nena.
Could anybody tell me that what kind of learning we have?
Face to face?
No. In online learning, we have two kind of learning.
Yeah.
Simultaneous?
Yes.
Synchronous and as asynchronous
Yes.
learning.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean that's very true. So if we go here, yeah, if we just see it here, which we have two kind of online teaching. And as a form of training or teaching over the internet, a widely used tool to teach and train individuals for both academic and corporations. So we have two categories. One is synchronous and what is asynchronous. Synchronous is like similar to traditional classroom in that you are meeting at a particular time via audio, video, streaming, or chat room. And asynchronous allows you to work at your own time and pace with periodic communication with the instructor. Take lots of patience, motivation, self-confidence, dedication, and general knowledge of using a computer. So the most of teaching which we do here is all about the teaching of asynchronous. This is what we do mostly. And I took the reference for this book I have a reference for this book so that you all know from where I've taken the reference, that I'm going to paste in the chat room. That's here. Okay, so I mean, when I was doing this online teaching, the first problem or the first challenge which I faced during the whole online teaching was that I have to really focus a lot, because it was totally opposite of face-to-face teaching, where you go in a classroom and you are talking to so many students. You are making your stories, you are coming up the ideas and all those things. But on online teaching, it was quite different, because most of the students, they were not on with the videos. They were not showing their body language. So I was really struggling that how to deal with that situation, that I cannot see them, what's happening, how they're responding, and all those things. And eventually I found out that this is really a good opportunity for me to look deep into things, that why this is happening and how I can deal with this thing. And how I dealt with this thing is, I'm just going to write in the chat box by using this one. That is building extra sense of practice and empathy. This is I developed. That, okay, sometimes there are pauses. Even if you are in a classroom, there are lots of pauses. Sometimes you want to ask students, but students don't give answer. And then what we do is we move to another student without giving any time to that student. Might be he's taking some time, might be he's processing some answer in his brain, but we just go on to the next students because we have lack of time. So this thing really helped me to understand that I should develop a sense of patience in me, because that's very important in an online teaching. You will not get a very quick answer, because there's a gap, there's an internet gap. Might be someone's internet is slow, might be someone's internet is very fast, might be some student try to look some information from their Google or search engine and they want to give you the answer. So that really helped me in my face-to-face teaching as well, that I should not rush and I should go forward and say, okay, probably you don't know the answer, I should move to the next one. So that developing a sense of empathy really helped me in my face-to-face teaching as well. So this was the first challenge which I faced, and I changed that challenge into the opportunity, that how I should develop this empathy. and I should give time to students. I should give time to students so that they can make a process and all those things. And that's the biggest challenge which we face in online teaching. So number one, so how we can deal with this challenge is we can deal with this challenge by developing a sense of empathy, considering, yes, there are some students who might be taking some time. So this delay in internet procedure, the delay of internet speed, try to develop me this empathy in my side that, okay, yes, I need to wait down. I need to calm down. I need to make my speed slow. So that was the first challenge which I felt, and I dealt with that in that situation. Okay. The second thing which I really felt in that was time management skill. This is what I really learned from online teaching. And that was the biggest challenge which I was facing doing a online class. Okay, as we all know that the pace of the lecture, the pace of your material is very fast on online teaching. And as a researcher said, I'm going to write the name of the researcher for you guys. This is what I took from here. According to this research reference, the online speed of lecturing and deliver lecture is 3 times faster than the face-to-face teaching. So we really need to be very, very careful. When I taught my first class on online basis, I thought I have taught the whole semester in one class, because this is what I prepared for whole semester. And the pace was so fast that I thought probably I have taught the whole semester. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. So where there's the challenge of time management, at the same time, this challenge give us an opportunity to manage our things, manage our minutes, even managing our micro minutes as well. That's very important. And this micromanagement really helped me in my face-to-face class. Because when I was teaching face-to-face class before going into the business of online teaching, I used to prepare a lesson plan, and then most of the time that lesson plan, goes somewhere else. And we just start working on that and start talking and chatting and all those things. But once I came into this online teaching, I started micromanaging my seconds as well in the teaching. That teaching is not about you go beyond your limits. It's good to talk to students, but probably for talking to students, the best time is outside the classroom. Once you are in a classroom where you are heavily influenced by the time management, by the university administration and all those things, you need to micromanaging your time so that the students can get best out of it. That's very, very important. So I talked about 2 challenges. Number 1, I talk about developing a sense of empathy. And number 2, having a good time management. That how this time management, which I was facing problem in my face-to-face class, I learned it, how to manage it on online class. Because they were the bigger syllabi, you have shorter time, and you have to cover the most of the things. During my... Someone wants to say something?
No, I guess there is some noise, but I have a question. What is your reality when you are talking about giving classes? How many students do you have? What countries are they from? And how long they study? 1 hour?
Okay, yeah. I'm coming to the next challenge. This is the next challenge which I faced. Okay, because in the UK, our classes are always multicultural. And all classes are always multilingual. Okay, and we need to understand it that the different students from different nationalities, they learn with a different pace of time. For example, without being racist, that the Chinese, they are very much onto the concentration. Okay, they concentrate a lot. Similar with Japanese students, they concentrate very focused. I have been teaching students from Ecuador and Spain. I mean, they are more active in class participation. So it's really difficult. So the third challenge which I faced, coming from face-to-face to online, that my classes were very much multicultural and very much multilingual. That's why it was very important that I need to keep a good time. That's why I'm talking about that even the micro management, even the micro time is very, very important. In online classes, we usually don't have students. The reality in the UK is, in online classes, we don't have students more than 15 students, 1-5. We try to keep only 1-5, 15 students in our classes, okay? And we do not, I mean, before that, our class used to be 1.5 hours, 90 minutes. But now we have reduced the class to 40 minutes because the online pace is very fast. So to keep in mind the motivation level of learner and the energy of the teacher as well, we have reduced the class time from 1 hour 30 minutes to 40 minutes so that everyone could stay focused and all those things. And what we try to do is we try to engage the students with lots of videos and with lots of things and all those things, okay? Which I'm going to do right now with you as well. Now I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to show you a video of how the countries which have less resources in their countries, how teachers are struggling. It's a very funny video. It's a very funny video. Yeah, sorry, Raj.
Could we just mute everyone so that the sound is better for us then?
Okay, yeah, I think I've tried muted everyone, but I think so, but still it's, just a minute, Raj. Thank you very much, Raj. Thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, I think so. I've muted most of, yeah, I think almost everyone is muted.
Okay, can everyone please mute your microphone, please, so we can hear without any noise? Thanks a lot.
Okay, now I'm going to show you a video. Okay, it's a funny video, and it's just for a little concentration back, because I do understand it that we just get bored most of the time. So here is the slide shares. Plus F.
G G O O O G G L L E E Gulu Gulu
D A N G E R O U S Dungers N A T U R E Nature F U T U R E Future Nature Future.
Number 1 Tire 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 Pure 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 Scales 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 Huse Huse Hole Hole Fire 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 Fire. Number 1 Tire.
Yeah, so that was just a video, just to give you a little comic break in between.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying. So, I mean, yeah, so look, yeah, this is what I wanted to bring your notice towards. This is very important because you said terrifying, okay? And this is what happened many times in my online classes, that you share something, but for one person it's comic, and for other person it's very terrifying. So this is the biggest reality of online. But thank you very much, Jaime, for mentioning that, because I was looking for a response from someone to say that it's terrifying. Because when I did it, for me it was comic, and I used this video for different platforms, and sometimes I found different responses of people. And that's the biggest thing, because when you are in a face-to-face class, you can judge people expressions, that how they are taking this video and all those things, or how they're taking your joke if you are doing in an online class. But when you are doing it from on to online, and especially when there are lots of teachers or lots of learners, they are not showing you your faces, you can't judge it. So the challenge is how to choose the videos. That's very important. How to choose the jokes, how to choose the material. That's very, very important. That's the biggest challenge which an online teacher face, choosing material. And when I talk about material, overall material, which has your jokes, which has your activities, which has your videos, which has your audios, everything. So the challenge is how to do it. That's very important. And there are lots of websites. There are lots of websites which are showing very neutral kind of resources. And one is, it's called ESL worksheet. I'm going to write it here. ESL worksheet. This is the best website. We found it up till now, to my experience, that this website has a very, very kind of moderate activities which is acceptable in every culture. Plus, you should know that before going to online class, that what kind of audience you're having. For example, there are Chinese students in your classroom, but you cannot make a joke about Chinese and all those things. You know what I mean? And I remember once I made a joke to my classroom, and this is an original joke, and some of the students really minded. The joke was, the Japanese Prime Minister, of course, Sokamoshi, he doesn't know how to speak English. So he has to go to meet Barack Obama. So what they told him, that you have to start with saying, how are you? And Obama would say, I'm fine. And you too, you would say, me too, me too. And after that, translators will join. So they went to the G7, and it's a real incident. So they went to the G7 summit. Sokamoshi went to the stage when Obama was staying there. So instead of saying, how are you? He forgot to say, he said, who are you? And Obama got the point. Obama said, well, I am Michelle's husband. And he said, me too, me too. And then there was a big laugh, everywhere there. So, and when I shared this joke with my students who were having a Japanese class fellow students, one of the students came to me afterward. He said, I think that was a racist joke. Yes. But, so you need to be very, very careful in choosing your resources, so that you know what you are choosing and what you are going to do with that. Okay. So that's a challenge. And that challenge would really help you to change this habit into your face-to-face class as well. When you will go for a neutral language, when you will go for a neutral kind of resources, which are acceptable in everything. Okay, the next challenge which I'm going to talk about, which I felt it, that was organizational skills. I'm just going to write it here. Yeah. Okay, for me, that was the biggest challenge, organizational skills. I mean, being a teacher in a face-to-face class, we have a pile of files, pile of papers, and all those things. But now the time has come when we have to go for a paperless. Why? Because to save the environment and all those things. So what I do is, I try to keep all my lesson plans, all handouts, videos, and all those things in my Google Drive. Google Drive is the best resource to use it. Okay. There's another site. I'm going to write the name for you guys. It's called this one. This is called digo.com. This is very good site. I mean, you can keep your bookmarks here. You can keep your books there. That's very, very That's very important, which I found it in my experience. So this really helped me to organize my work. This digo.com is very simple. It's very, very simple. You can keep your handouts, you can keep your notes, you can keep your videos, you can keep your audios, you can keep your lesson plans, and then you can share it with students as well. So even they can come paperless. I mean, in the UK, we're working hard to make things paperless. And we really found this resource very wonderful because students can use it on their mobile phones as well. Keeping in view, mobile phone is the biggest reality of the modern world, and you cannot stop students using mobile phone in their classrooms. Even if you ask them not to use it, they will use it. They will use it. So why not use that tool as a productive tool and keep them engaged on their mobile phone by uploading and by giving them different resources like Kahoot. I really found it good. This digo.com. There are so many other games which we play, and even we can play online as well. There are so many games which you play online. So that could be a very good tool to keep students engaged. But coming back to my organizational skills, I mean, I was struggling when I was doing face-to-face. But then when it comes to online teaching, these tools really helped me to organize my work, to organize my paperwork, to organize my attendance register, to organize my student marks sheet, everything. This is a wonderful, wonderful tool. The next challenge which I face is and we all, I think, struggle in that, especially like if we don't, that is computer skills. That was the biggest challenge. Being an online teacher, that was a biggest challenge. When I was switching from face-to-face teaching to computer skills, that was the biggest challenge I faced. Because being a teacher of arts and the humanities, of English language teaching, we are not very much exposed to computer skills. The teachers from science, mathematics, computer, they are very much into computer skills and they can do it like this. But being a teacher of arts and the humanities, yes, we lack in these skills and we admit it. So how I dealt with that, the challenge. First of all, I admit it, yes, I lack in skills. The half of the problem is solved when you admit this thing. Yes, I lack in these skills, okay? So what I started working on that is there are so many YouTube tutorials available on the YouTube. From everything, like from talking about Zoom, from talking about Google Docs, from talking about Blackboard, every resource is there. And there are thousands of videos which talk about how to use Zoom, how to do Google Doc, how to talk Google Meeting, how to talk Microsoft Meeting. There are thousands of videos and they are in every language. I have seen those videos in Arabic because I speak Arabic, Urdu, Persian, Hindi, English. So I have seen those videos in all the languages to have a better understanding of those videos. So don't be shy. If you lack in something, don't be shy. That's very important. Go to Google, simple, write your problem there that you are struggling how to use Zoom and all those things. So that was, for me, that was a challenge, how to deal with it. But then I started doing trainings and there are so many courses. There are so many courses on the YouTube as well, which gives you a good hands-on to tell you about, okay, how to deal with all that situation. So, I mean, initially it is a challenge, but then it becomes opportunity. The more I go deep down into this field, the more I was getting equipped in those areas. The next challenge which I faced, I think which most of us faced, is how to assess students. That assessing students, that's the area which we all struggle. So could anybody tell me how they try to assess students online? Is there any area which you can tell me or something like that? Anybody?
Sorry, say your question again.
If anyone could tell me that how they assess their students in an online scenario.
For example, in our university, there are exams that there is a team.
Okay.
which makes the exams or the
Okay.
quizzes, and then
Okay.
publish them in our university platform. And
Okay.
students just get in, and the only thing we have to do is correct the writing, because then everything is objective. So they just click yes, no, true, false, and that's the way we are evaluating. And the oral participation is every day. We assess
Okay.
every day.
Okay. I think I got a comment from Nora, and she says about the Kahoot is a nice so quizzes and all those things. Okay. So I tell you a very basic thing which most of the UK universities adopted to start assessing students online. Okay. I mean, before, for the teachers who are not into this, very much into this online teaching and online learning, what they did is they told us that you can conduct interviews, face-to-face interviews. That could be a best source to judge your student. You're taking him on a separate like Skype meeting or something like that, and you are talking to him in a form of interview. Okay. So, I mean, here in the UK, we worked a lot across the interviews instead of giving paper sheets and quizzes and all those things. Okay. The reason was because when we were thinking that we should give this thing to a exam, something like that, exam branch, then we were thinking that it's coming extra load to our resources, that engaging an exam branch and all those things. So they put it very much simple to the teacher that, okay, you conduct an interview and come up with a feedback or something like that. So that was the best source, which we found that was very, very good. But I'm going to share you, you can check this source. We really found this very, very interesting. That was screencast.omatic.com. So that's another tool which assess the students, and it's very much self-explanatory. I mean, it's not difficult to assess it. You can do it on those things very much and all those things. So that was a challenge which I felt that how to assess students. And I think my university gave me a very good option that it's better you conduct an interview. Keeping in view, it's just a start. I mean, online teaching is there for a longer time, but keeping in view, it's a difficult time. So not making things more difficult, trying to keep more things simple, it's better that we keep it on interviews level and all those things. You know what I mean? And I'm getting some feedback which talking about, I love screencast, and then I record my videos with screencast and Google tools to each students. Yeah. So these are the wonderful tools which we can use them. And then there's another tool I'm going to share with you. And this tool is about this thing, which is zoom.us. And I just heard the Flipgrid is another one of the assessing students orally. So, I mean, there are, but if you don't have access to any of these, there's nothing to worry about it. Make an interview, talk to students face to face, talk to student online on a Skype. I did many interviews like this with my Chinese, because we have mostly intakes from China and Japan. So I did lots of interviews with the students, and we have been grading them and all those things. Of course, there is a debate about it, the credibility, but as I said, it's a difficult time. And instead of making things more difficult, it's better, I mean, we keep it simple and we keep on going and all those things.
Sorry,
Okay.
A question, Rana.
Yeah.
Is the first session supposed to finish after 40 minutes, or I guess?
Yeah. After 40 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
just,
then we will.
Just to remind everyone that if the meeting is over, we have to connect again after 5 minutes.
Exactly. After 5 minutes, yeah. Okay. And then we'll connect it again after 5 minutes. And all
I just have a quick question, Rana.
Yes, Raj, please.
Do you use small groups and then give them assignments and then report back or discuss?
Yes, I mean, that was the second stage of of our thing. I mean, our first stage, which we thought the simplest way could be just conducting interviews, because sometimes students are shy talking in a group. So why not talk to them individually, giving them a 10-minute slot on Skype or a Zoom or something like that? Yes, but that's why I said that was the most simplest way, because we had so many teachers who were really struggling to use all these tools for assessing and all those things. So the universities came up with the idea that, okay, the simple thing could be conduct interviews, you know what I mean? And it gives kind of a more freedom and freedom of time as well. I mean, sometime we conducted an interview in Chinese being at night, but it's okay, we're giving 10 minutes time, and they were giving more chances for students to create their own time slot with us and all those things. And of course, because we were working from home, so we were mostly available in that time, you know what I mean? So you have to be very careful that when you are available and all those things, it's not about you're engaging yourself for all the time and all those things. Okay. Yeah, one announcement I want to make, that by the end of this talk, I will share a link of a course. This course is credited by Cambridge, and it's a free course, and anyone can do it. I mean, I will share the link at the end. I did that course as well, and the course says how to teach online. And I really found that course was very, very interesting, and it's a free course with certification and everything. You don't have to pay anything. It's a 4-week course, but you can do it in 2 days as well. I mean, if you are really into it and all those things, okay? It's not about the course. There are lots of comments coming at the end of that course where people are discussing. And I really find that discussion was very helpful instead of going for that course. Of course, I did that course, but people from all over the world, they were giving comments about all that thing, and I really found it really interesting, all that thing. Okay. Okay, so I think it will take another minute to switch it off. So I'm just gonna put it off and then we'll reconnect it. Okay, is everything okay with that? Okay, so we'll see you all after 5 minutes.
Okay, so come back in 5 minutes, please,
Yeah.
and bring your questions. Next time we'll
Yeah.
have a 5-minute period of questions.
No, we will have more time for questions.
I meant for each one.
Yes, that's better.
See you.
Okay,
Come back.
see ya.
Come back.